So we're at the halfway point of the MotoGP World Championship here at Laguna Seca. This is After the Flag. Welcome to After the Flag from Magellan.
This is After the Flag from Laguna Seca.
Come on guys, go on! So we're here in California and not too far from Salinas, and it's rodeo weekend, and so obviously we had to bring down the riders. We brought Andrea Dovizioso down with us as well. What was your take on the road? Slightly different, not quite bulls and horses at the moment. But what was your take on the whole rodeo thing?
I mean, it's something completely new for me, and it's really different from our country. I mean, you never see something like that, but it's nice to see something different.
Yeah, of course. How are you with horses? Do you like to ride, or how about bulls? Do you like to ride bulls?
No, just horsepower, yeah.
Just the Ducati, of course. But anyway, what about coming to the United States? It's obviously our second visit of 3 this year, and the next race is Indianapolis, of course, as well. Obviously, something's about to go on here at the moment.
Yes,
but do you like coming over to the USA?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's really different from our normal routines, and in Europe is completely different. Everything is smaller, and the food, everything is different, but it's nice to make 3 weeks on your life in a different completely way. And you come here and you know everything is different, and it's nice to change and to see a different mentality.
Yeah, of course. Talking of Andrea riding bucking broncos or things like that, we've got this video to show you. Now this was the high-speed video of the crash in Sachsenring. It's obviously an amazing shot because you get to see every little detail. Have you had a close look at this one? Have you looked at it afterwards or anything, or not?
Not too much, because I mean, I understood easy what happened, and it's not so nice to see many times your crash.
Well, I'll cover it up now, of course. But it was amazing, obviously, all the sparks flying and everything like that as well.
Now it's special to see every crash, and what happened also during the practice and the style, very slow.
All these high speeds, can you look at them and can you see things that you didn't see before?
Of course. It's particular because you can see something different, but also very slow. Sometimes it's not real. So you have to be really careful about to understand. But it's so nice to see everything.
Except not nice to see yourself, of course, on the ground. So let's throw that one away. Let's forget about that for the time being. But what about yourself now after Laguna Seca, before Indianapolis? Will you stay in the USA? Will you have a holiday?
No, I mean, I think most of the people working in the World Championship, the holiday is to stay at home, and especially when you are a father, and we spend a lot of time out of your house, and I really want to do 3 weeks at home, relax, working, training, but spend the time with my friends and my daughter.
With your daughter as well, okay, and going towards Indianapolis as well. What, as a rider, do you have one half of the season, have your break, and then do you think, okay, second half, like a football match? Do you think, this is second half, we can still make a difference?
Yeah, but depends which situation you are. I mean, if you fight for the championship or for important position, yes. But in our situation, this moment, no. I mean, we are still behind and quite far from the position we want to fight. So we're still working a lot. Also, we have the test after Laguna Seca in Misano again. So after Laguna, don't start the holiday. But we are really focused. We want to come back, and in this moment still not happen. And we have some idea, but we need time. Unfortunately for everybody, for the riders, first is bad to go in the weekend. You know, you can do really the difference because the bike is still that. Also for the mechanics, the team, and the sponsor, but and the fans. But everybody have to wait. I think if we can organize in a better way during the end of the season, we can start really at the beginning of the season this winter to start to working in a really good way. But I don't know, it's quite early and still we need more data to have the more possibility to understand exactly the situation.
Yeah. Well, let's take a moment just to step back before we finish with Andrea. We're going back in time to the first ever race that was here at Laguna Seca in 2005, of course, when Nicky Hayden came and blasted all the others into the weeds. But let's have a look at the Laguna Seca race for our trip down memory lane.
Nicky Hayden, dream come true, Nicky.
Oh, so much a dream come true. I mean, dude, it just feels so good to win. I mean, it's been since 2002 since I won anything other than the dating game, and just to win the GP feels awesome.
That was an incredible day, of course. It's great to, a great memory. I mean, you know, it was just really a fairy tale weekend that just everything went perfectly. First time being back in America in 10 years, I think, for USGP. And the whole weekend, the bike worked great. You know, it was a track I loved. And, you know, the Honda at that time was a really, really good bike.
It was the first time here, no? And everybody are very curious about Laguna, about the racetrack and about the corkscrew. And it was a very, a good memory that you never forget, because the first time you go down to the corkscrew with the MotoGP bike is something that you remember because it's very particular.
I got a great start, pole position, and you know, it was the first time I really led a MotoGP race for a long time, so it was a long one. Anybody can tell you Laguna is a 32-lap race. It's one of probably the longest, hardest races on the year, and didn't have a huge gap, but just enough.
I remember it was a good weekend, and I remember I arrived in the third position just behind Colin and Nick that know very well the track, so it was a great weekend.
Everything was just perfect that day, and man, it was great. My parents was there and did the lap with my dad, and was a special one. Sure, I'll never forget being on the podium and hearing that national anthem for the first time. I mean, even now talking about it still gives me goosebumps, and was a really, really great day that I hope one day to feel again.
Of course, Nicky Hayden, a fantastic victory here in 2005. I'm sure you'll remember it long. Your teammate, of course, and he always speaks very proudly about that one. But Laguna Seca, as a circuit, as a venue, it's a special place, isn't it? It's a very different track, a very different ambience, and you mentioned before about the fans as well. It's really special people here.
Yes, but in America, I mean, it's special the fans, but Laguna Seca is a really particular track. Uphill, downhill, corkscrew, and third one, I think, is for my side is the most scary corners in the World Championship, and from the TV is almost nothing compared to the reality. And it's different, this track. I mean, when you go in Malaysia with MotoGP, is the best because you can use all the horsepower you have in a MotoGP bike. But Laguna, there is a good memory in the past, nice race, and it's nice always to come in a different track compared to our normal track in Europe.
Very different indeed. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Are you going to come back and watch the rodeo maybe one time this weekend?
Maybe, if I can find the time.
Definitely not. It looks like they're about to get out there anyway and start getting out and doing some bullfighting, whatever it is they do. We're not quite sure still anyway. But thanks for joining us, Andrea. And we, of course, wish him all the best. Let's see how Andrea got on at this very unique track here this weekend at Laguna Seca.
"32 laps, the Mazda Raceway here at Laguna Seca. We're underway.
Didn't look to be the greatest start for Marc Marquez from the front row of the grid, and already Valentino Rossi has got past him, and it's Bradl who leads them down towards turn 1 as they fire their way through into 2. Bradl's going to lead from Rossi in second. Marquez has made a great recovery actually coming into 2, but look for Lorenzo just on the inside. He's moved up into 4th position. Bautista's going to try and hang on, but he's not going to do so. Pedrosa is up into 6th place with Crutchlow just in behind, but the pole man Bradl leads us through turn 4 for the first time. Lorenzo extremely wide coming through turn 2, and Alvaro Bautista has taken full advantage of it and goes up into 4th place.
We ride with Marquez, that's Rossi in front of him as they're coming up towards the corkscrew. Is Marquez going to make a move at the corkscrew in these early stages?
Goes around the outside. Rossi though will try and come back on the inside. Oh, and then Marquez goes through on the inside of the corkscrew.
I tried to resist, but today wasn't the right day. It was too strong for me. But before the end of the season, we will have another time for battle where I will be more fast. So I give back the overtake for sure.
I think Espargaro isn't going to finish as top CRT this time, as he has done on every occasion so far this year. So he's gone down now.
Danny Pedrosa has got through on Jorge Lorenzo, so let's see where it was.
Turn 2, round out of turn 1, throws the bike up on the inside. Not easy to do when you got a crack in your collarbone, but Pedrosa has done it and now taken 5th place. Weeping lines as we watch Marquez now coming into the final corner, and Marc Marquez is going to take over as they cross the line. There'll be 13 laps to go in the US Grand Prix, and the championship leader has hit the front. Has Bradl got anything to be able to fight back? Nicky gets through into the lead ahead of Dovizioso. Doesn't seem to be anything too much there. They almost come together. Whoa, they do. That's teammates for you, and that's probably where his clutch lever, it seemed.
Marc Marquez looks behind him. There is nobody there. He's at the final corner here at Laguna Seca. Marc Marquez makes his debut at Laguna Seca with a victory. Opens up a bigger lead in the World Championship.
All credit to Stefan Bradl, who was on pole, who takes his first podium finish in MotoGP. And Alvaro Bautista doesn't make it through on Valentino Rossi. He is 4th. Rossi on the podium once more.
He leads the World Championship by 16 points. Marc Marquez is going to enjoy his holiday.
Let's take a closer look then at the move that Marc Marquez made on course on board a scooter. Valentino Rossi was on the inside going down into the corkscrew when he made the move. Now, he said he thought he was on the right line, but clearly he wasn't, because he went right down here. And I tell you what, I don't fancy doing that too much on a scooter, never mind on a MotoGP bike, but it means that he's extended his lead in the World Championship. So Marc Marquez now has 16 points advantage over his closest rival, Danny Pedrosa, who had a brave ride, of course, into 5th place. And Jorge Lorenzo is 26 points behind. We're halfway through the championship, still 9 rounds to come. Everything could change, but it's shaping up to be a fantastic year. Valentino Rossi also has just moved 1 point ahead now of Cal Crutchlow into 4th spot after his 3rd place finish here at Laguna Seca. It's been a great weekend all round. It's always a great atmosphere around the circuits, and these are some of the things you might not have seen on the main TV programme.
As the US Grand Prix weekend commenced, was Nicky acknowledging the crowd? Or was he waving goodbye to his Californian fans for the last time in MotoGP?
Definitely there is not a future, I'm not coming back to Ducati and MotoGP. They choose to go in a different way.
So Hayden will not be with his current employers next season, but could he find a way back into MotoGP next year? The American races would not be quite the same without the Kentucky kid. Whilst one rider told us he would not be with his current team next year, another made a clear statement about his ambitions for 2014.
I'm not too worried about me next year for sure. I think I deserve a place in MotoGP.
A first pole position, a starring role in the race, and ultimately his first Premier Class podium. And Bradl was all smiles. His team seemed quite pleased too. And Stefan even got a hug from a MotoGP icon in Parc Fermé at the end of the race.
Bravo, bravo, good job, good job.
Two riders who certainly deserved a few hugs at the end of the contest were Jorge Lorenzo and Dani Pedrosa. The title rivals both rode through the pain barrier to secure points that could be absolutely crucial in the championship battle. Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it? It sure does. Spanish determination was on display throughout the weekend, and with Pedrosa and Lorenzo working hard behind him, the brilliant Marc Marquez rewrote history at the front of the race. Becoming the first ever MotoGP rookie to win at the Californian track, Marquez also pulled off a Valentino Rossi-style move on none other than Rossi himself, a new king of the corkscrew. The doctor had the chance to praise the Repsol Honda sensation from the podium, and he was as impressed as the rest of us.
Mark is me, but with the upgrading is the new model. I don't know.
Is there any way for Rossi to stop this young pretender? Well, I'm not sure that's in the rule books. Next stop for MotoGP is Indianapolis. But for now, the rest of the grid will have to sit back and just salute from a distance the brilliance of Marquez.
So after the race here, I think everyone feels they deserve a bit of a rest and a bit of a break. And of course, they're all packing up, ready for the next round, which will be in Indianapolis in 3 weeks' time. And we get that bit of a break before, but then it's full on because we've got Indianapolis, quickly followed by Brno, and then the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And unfortunately, it won't be till after that round that you'll see us next. But don't miss it. Don't miss the next episode of After the Flag. We'll see you then.